I'm back to share what has been in my space energetically, emotionally, things that I've been contemplating in reference to our existence and, our experience here really as humans, as I've been talking a lot about embracing or honoring our humanity. And I've been talking a lot about just this shift in consciousness. And this is just something that's been really alive in my space. I feel that I'm a little bit obsessive about it. I'm super excited when it comes to anything pertaining to um, extraterrestrials and this whole big shift, and specifically this week leading into Easter is said to be an energetically sensitive time. Maybe like another wave and shift in consciousness that's coming through. So we shall see. So I want to just share briefly again what's been in my space. And I just am very curious about it and have been experiencing it, of course, in my own life. And I've been witnessing and observing others experiencing this as well. And what I'm speaking of is the dance of pleasure and pain. And so many of us have this shared experience of two things. One of those experiences, shared experience, essentially is wanting to get out of the pain, right? Feeling really uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, with being sad or grieving and so forth. And so we either try to think our way out of it, figure our way out of it, or we just block it out, right, and distract ourselves and go on to like the next thing, just like what can make me feel good in this moment. And yesterday was really interesting, as I felt really good, but then also like I accomplished everything I needed to accomplish for the week, and I had really nothing to do, although I had a list of things I could continue to do. But when you feel complete for the day as far as like anything productive, and I just didn't know what to do with myself, which every so often I get into these modes and I just want to lay, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just lay and read, or but it's just like I feel there's a lot of energy moving through me, right, or trying to move through me, and then I feel restless. So I went to do a reading for myself. I did a reflection as well of what has happened all this week, looked at my tarot reading that I did for the beginning of the week, and wanted to have a conversation with my counsel and see what messages and guidance are here for me, as well as for the collective, as we are coming towards this full moon in Libra on April 1st. And so the second experience that we have likely shared, you and I, is the guilt of happiness, of feeling good, of being in abundance, of like having even like clean water and like all of these things that every human has the right to have and experience. There's an awareness of the haves and the have-nots. And I feel anyone that is um, empathic and holds compassion for I like all things, right? All living things, we naturally feel this way and we understand like both sides of the spectrum. So in that same experience last night, I was feeling the excitement for what I've accomplished. I was very proud of myself and I was happy. And I felt that I really am embodying who I have been desiring to become, who I've been growing into. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's finally here. And I'm finally in this energy and I'm just being this energy, right? And then the wave of guilt came through, just thinking about what's happening in the external world as far as human suffering. And you really begin to feel a little crazy even about when it comes to sharing your win, sharing your joy, posting about it or talking about it with family and friends. There's always, at least in my experience, there's always someone who, will bring it back down to earth and kind of sober the conversation, which is totally fine. And both experiences can exist, they do exist. And that is honestly the beauty of being human, is that we are here to experience the full spectrum of emotions. Like we can hold it all. We can hold the full capacity of our emotions, of our experiences. And so this has been one of the greatest lessons I am really observing for myself and for the collective. And one of the best ways from just my studies and also experience is honoring your emotions. So even when I'm having those moments, those win moments, there are other little subtle layers of emotions where, I feel happy, but then it feels really uncomfortable. And I feel like the fear of not feeling this way. And then another layer of emotion comes into play. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling, or I'm upset about feeling the fear. Then I'm scared of feeling the fear because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna bring back that reality. And this is how you like cycle and spiral. And so I caught myself in those moments and I literally communicated to myself, it's okay, you can feel excited and you can also feel scared and you can also feel upset. Like you can feel all of these emotions and just let them be. Just because you're afraid of losing this feeling because you think that you're going to lose what brought forth that feeling, that's okay. That doesn't mean that that's going to happen, right? But it's okay to feel that way. Like I literally talk to myself like I'm my 6-year-old. And what's even most important is that we check our belief systems, the way we define things. And that's been a really major lesson as well from Bashar, just from my um, learnings and just what I appreciate from his teachings is that he does really guide us to pay attention to how we define things, because our definitions of certain things, our belief systems, our stories, there are things that we have, like stories that we have from what we've experienced, and we expect things to go a certain way. So we're like, okay, well, yeah, this has happened before. And then, you know, then it led to this, to this, to this, and I lost it all. Or it never works out for me. Or you're like, basically, you're waiting for the last shoe to drop, right? And it's like, why are we subscribing to that story? Why are we defining it that way? Why do we believe it has to happen that way? So that's one of the processes. That's a process that I walk myself through. That's really comforting and helpful for me, is that I allow myself to feel the emotion. And once that emotion has cleared, I will at some point check my definition, or sometimes in the moment I can do that because I do my best not, excuse me, not to get in my head. But naturally, that question will come up once I allow myself to have the moment. I'll think like, okay, but why am I feeling this way? Like, what am I believing? What am I defining about this situation that is leading to this feeling? Like, do I have to, like, does it have to manifest this way that I'm fearing? Right? Can it just be good? And like, even if I do step into that fear moment or experience what I'm fearing, it's not going to be forever. And what does that mean if it happens again? What am I defining that to mean? So that's one of the ways I've been walking myself through it. Pleasure and pain is a natural experience of being human, and it's something that we are learning to master. It's a part of the nature of this reality here. And I had a very um, strong experience with that, in a very subtle way, actually, but it was so profound in the moment as I'm contemplating about pleasure and pain. I asked for guidance from my counsel, as I mentioned, and through a tarot reading. And the very first card I got was the Five of Cups. And if you're familiar with this card, this is the card of grief. It is like a heavy sadness. And it was completely opposite what I was feeling yesterday. Like I told you, I was feeling restless, but I was also like very happy and feeling high in some ways, and proud of myself. And so to see the Five of Cups as the central focus of the message, I was like, no. And I sat there and debated on reshuffling. And so I asked for another card. I got the Temperance, and I was like, oh man, this feels on point. Then next I got the Two of Swords, then the Nine of Wands, or the Ten of Wands. And I was just like, where is this going? and then finally the Page of Pentacles. And it really came together so nicely. And it was such a profound message. It was so in alignment with what I was contemplating and the support that I was looking for as far as guidance and divine intelligence. And I decided not to scratch the reading, because even as I continued to shuffle and I had all of it laid in front of me, I almost put them all back in the deck and started again, which I would have done in the past. I'm not going to lie. But I decided to do something different. I decided to change the behavior and not fear, or be okay with the feeling of fear. What I've learned from this experience and just sitting with the emotion is that when you sit with the emotion, very soon you receive the clarity, the insight, the support, whatever you need in the moment, you do receive it. And this is honestly something that we all know. Like, I know you know this. You're watching this video. It's like, yes, I know this. But it's something that we need to clearly hear again and again, just for that reassurance and that guidance and that reminder that it's okay to feel the way that you do, especially as a parent. I feel so many emotions in like 1 hour. And if any of them are like not the best emotions, I feel bad. And I'm just like, oh, you shouldn't feel that way. It literally just happened before I recorded this. And so, but then I'm like, I just breathe. I'm like, no, feel it. It's okay. You're human. It's totally okay. So I'm sharing this message with you all to be of support and to remind you that it's totally okay to feel however you feel. And maybe with this full moon in Libra, as Libra is the sign of balance. And it's interesting when I talk to Libra, specifically Libra moons or Libra risings, but I mean, I guess all the big threes, right? The sun, the moon, and the rising, they are seeking learning to find balance. So, it's expected possibly that they are the ones that are the masters of balance, but they're mastering it through experience, through learning. And so generally they're experiencing the extremes within their lives to find that center point. And that is what we're doing as humans, right? Because we all have a little bit of Libra in us somewhere. And so we are experiencing the extremes and finding that neutral point, that peaceful space, like learning how to balance our emotions, learning how to like thrive in the midst of chaos, learning how to feel a full spectrum of emotions while also being grounded and stable, like not losing yourself. And then if you do lose yourself, like you have a moment, whether you crash out, that's totally okay too. So at the end of the day, we are human. It's all okay. It's like we're here to feel. And this is one of the greatest lessons, one of the most advanced schools on earth, right? On this human reality, this human existence. And so I just wanted to share that. And so we might find ourselves at the ends of the spectrum within like the extremes within the spectrum of emotions. And that's fine, because we're always going to find ourselves. As soon as we let go and, stop resisting the feeling, we will have that peace and serenity. Serenity is the word. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like the video, please subscribe, and I will be sharing more here soon.